America's biggest streamer was anti-war until Trump bombed Iran. Okay, we're gonna watch this. I don't know why you AI generated, oh, just to give me more teeth. Well, thank you. We play too big of a role in other countries' military shit. Yes. Like, we're too interventionary, we get too involved into other people's business. Yes. It's a waste of our money. The people there probably fucking hate us. Like, where's really the upside here, right? Stay out of it. Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm not saying, like, we should be totally isolationist, but I think that the level that, like, that we try to play nation building, especially in places like this, like, you know, like Libya, for example, back in the day, what the fuck? Or Iraq. No, absolutely not. Yeah, it's too much, man. Way too much.
That's Zach Hoyt, better known as Asmongold.
So this is another example of something being taken out of context. Inside of that clip, I was talking about the reason why Trump voters don't feel satisfied with Donald Trump, and it's because from a average voter's perspective, focusing on international conflicts over local ones is a bad idea. And so that's the main reason too. So we've got, obviously, that's the reason why I was talking about it, number one. And number two, Libya wasn't funding terrorism at the same level that Iran was. Libya wasn't trying to build a nuclear bomb and blow up the United States. So, I mean, this is, again, two completely different things. It's not like Libya and Iran are the same country.
The most watched streamer in North America talking about American military intervention abroad.
That's me. Look at him. I think they're a little small ones.
Yep.
See?
Too interventionary. Waste of money. Stay out
Trying to make me look bad. Trying to make me look bad already.
And now here he is, same man, same streamer, on the subject of the United States bombing of Iran.
So he's trying to create, you can see very clearly, right? He's trying to delegitimize me by showing a clip of me eating maggots. Can you believe that? Actually, I know this might sound surprising for him, but how many subscribers does this guy have? He's got 88,000 subscribers. I'll give him a bit of advice, okay? The reason why I do things like that on my stream is I find that they're entertaining. I found that entertaining an audience has helped me build an audience. Maybe you could try it. I am so happy this has happened. I am just dramatically, tremendously happy this has happened. I know that, you know, obviously I've talked about it for a long time, about how big of a problem Iran is and everything. Yes. I was a big supporter of us bombing them before, and now we're bombing them again, and this is just amazing.
Amazing. Yes, he's just so happy. Dramatically, tremendously happy. The United States has launched a war that has killed over 1,000 people as of this recording in 5 days, including 165 schoolgirls in an elementary school in Minab. And
so I wonder, did he do a video about when the IRGC said that if your kids are saying things that are anti-regime, we're going to kill your kids? I wonder if he said that. Let's take a look. How about that? Let's take a look. So where are the videos that are critical of the Iranian regime? Here we go. Let's see. Trump's Iran war will fail. This seems like a Trump derangement syndrome channel. And it looks like not a single instance of him criticizing or talking about the Iranian regime killing people. Wow. How about that? Just Republican hate? Yep, there it is. There's more and more and more of it. That's not whataboutism comparing the U.S. and Iran. It's completely different. No, it's not. I mean, if you're going to criticize and talk about that, I mean, you're not going to talk about the other people that were killed by Iran's proxies. This whole idea that it killed 1,000 people and somehow that means the war is bad, that completely decontextualizes any of the actions that Iran has taken that have killed people as well. And he's not comparing, you know, American deaths. He's looking at deaths in total.
6 American soldiers are dead. One of them, a 39-year-old mother of 2 who was days away from coming home. And the most watched streamer in America is sitting in his chair going, this is just amazing.
I'm sure that what you think that I'm saying is that it's amazing that a soldier is dead. This is the same type of performative morality that I think ends up getting way more people killed. Because what he's doing is he's trying to imply that I am actually happy or I want soldiers to die. Well, obviously that's not the case. Nobody wants soldiers to die. But the reality is that when you have a country like Iran that is funding terrorism, that they're killing people, they're making bombs, they're killing their own people. Do you guys want to check and see if he made a video about all the Iran protests and Iran massacring their people? Do you guys want to see if he talked about that? I wonder. Oh, I wonder. Intentionally misunderstanding? Yep, there it is. And let's check. All right, let's find out. And let's see here. Iran. Are there any videos here of him talking about this? Incinerators. Here's one of his videos right here. I'm just seeing this. Incinerators being built at Trump's concentration camps. Oh my God. Okay, guys. Yep, here we go. This is the kind of person it is. Wow. And let's go back. We'll see if there's any videos at all about the Iran war or the Iran protests. No, this isn't it. And so it seems like there is not a single thing at all that he said about the Iran protests. Trump's Venezuela invasion is worse than you think. Man. Didn't Venezuela announce its most recent stock market, the highest that it's ever been? Like, so let's go back. We're going to pull this up. We'll see how well this video aged. Where is it here? Venezuela. Where is it? Stock market. Let's see here. Wow. Another wrong, huh? Oh. Oh, too bad. Didn't age very well, did it? Wow. They're cooking. Yeah, they also released political prisoners. And we're having negotiations with Venezuela in Caracas now. So things are actually getting better in Venezuela after we got rid of Maduro. So we have somebody here, and the problem that I have with this is that this is a person who is masking bad actions and terrorism under the mask of virtue. This is a person talking about how I don't care about anybody dying, but this person didn't seem to think it was important enough to talk about the Iranian regime mass murdering their own people by the thousands in the street after they turned off the internet so nobody can report on it. It's just weird how there's this double standard. I wonder why. Just amazing.
And look, if this were some random guy with 40 followers, this wouldn't be worth talking about.
Textbook bad faith. It is. It's total bad faith.
Wouldn't matter. But it's not. So it does. Asmongold accumulated 2.4 billion YouTube views in 2025 alone.
It's more than that. It's a lot more than that. But yeah.
According to
I have more than 2 YouTube channels. But yes.
Media Matters, more than any other right-leaning streamer or podcaster that they track. His channels have nearly 6 million subscribers combined. In 2025, he topped the North American Twitch chart with 26.2 million hours watched, beating out every other streamer on the platform. This is not a niche figure. This is the largest right-leaning political voice in streaming, and his audience skews young and male. The exact demographic that's most disengaged from traditional media. And
I don't know about that. Well, yeah, traditional media. Oh, yeah. No, he's right about that. It's mainly like 24. It's like plus minus 10 my age. I'm 35, so it's mainly like probably 25 to like 45-year-old guys that are watching. Mostly, yeah.
Most susceptible to parasocial trust. And what is the audience hearing right now? Stay out of it. Unless Trump does it, then it's amazing. Now here's what
it is good. It's good. And I think that this is a person that has terminal fucking Trump derangement syndrome. And I hate saying that because I think that it's cringe. But at the same time, I feel like with a channel like this, it kind of works that way. Holy fuck, man. Look at all of these videos. Every single video is a negative video about Trump. So really, I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with Trump. So if you're attacking me for my position, let's talk about what the actual position is rather than who supports it. I think this is boring.
Makes this more than just a standard influencer flip-flopping for views. In the first clip, the anti-war one, Asmongold isn't making some nuanced case for strategic restraint. He's not citing defense budgets or troop deployments. He's quite literally vibing. Interventionary.
Well, yeah, of course I'm vibing, because I was talking about the way that the average voter was thinking, which means that they're not going to be looking at any of the things that he mentioned. They're not going to look at an international second-order effect of, you know, the Strait of Hormuz being closed. They don't even know what the Strait of Hormuz is. So whenever I'm talking about the way an average voter is going to think about things or how they're going to approach things, then yes, absolutely, I'm going to talk about it based off of vibes, because the average voter votes off of vibes. Of course. Duh.
Isn't a word. He's riffing the way that he riffs about everything, because that's what he does.
Well, yeah, I'm live every day for hours. Duh. What the hell do you expect?
He plays clips, he reacts, he gives his gut take, and his audience takes it as gospel because he sounds like a guy who doesn't care what anyone else thinks. And in the second clip, the pro-war one, the same dynamic is at play. He hasn't read the intelligence briefings. He doesn't know Iran's nuclear negotiating history. He can't name...
You mean all the times that they didn't do what they said they were going to do? They're building... So let me get this straight. You think that building the nuclear facility inside of a mountain, there's no reason, no way at all, that they're making nuclear weapons? I mean, like, you just think about this for 3 seconds. Who's doing this?
Any of the members of the IRGC. What he does know is that Daddy Trump did it.
Well, I do know the members of the IRGC. You find out a new one's dead every day.
Trump doing things is content, and supporting what Trump does is...
It's about being Trump. Okay, let's move past this. Is this all just about Trump? Holy shit.
Path of least resistance with his audience. So he's dramatically, tremendously happy.
I disagree with that. I think that's not even true. I think that there's been a tremendous amount of people that have been upset about the fact that I've been supportive of the war. There's been a huge amount of people that have been upset about me doing that. Even people that are on the right that are upset about it. So this idea that, like, me taking this perspective is the path of least resistance is not true. I actually think that there's more of an overwhelming consensus of people that are against it. So I don't even think this is true. Just dramatically, tremendously happy this has happened.
And the thing is, he told us this would happen. Because Zach, and this is a direct quote, has said that he places no weight on principles or morality, describing them as top-down ideas that are given to you by the elites.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if your principles and your morality lead you to a conclusion that says that you should allow a country to build a nuclear bomb who their main slogan that they say is killing your country and destroying your country, then what purpose are the principles and your morality? Like, this entire idea that principles and morality can be applied to every situation in the same way is just, it's delusional. It's totally delusional. This is something that you can do with people that have similar principles and similar morality, but you can't do that to people that are trying to build a nuclear bomb and kill you. The reality is that you have to act in a way that's in the best interest of your survival and the survival of other people around you. And whenever you're in charge of their well-being, you need to make that decision in the grand scope of what is in their best interest, not basically throwing them to the wolves so you can feel like you did the right thing. I don't think that that's the right thing. I think that's very, very one-dimensional, self-referential, completely, what's the word for this? Like, it's just basically narcissistic values, narcissistic principles. I don't think that's a good idea at all. Whenever you put other people at risk because of your perceived principles, to what purpose were the principles even made? Why do you even have them if the outcome of the principles is that you put people at risk? Seems like a big idea, a bad idea.
Said that in his own words. A man with 6 million subscribers told his audience that he places no weight or no principles on morality. And
that's correct. Yes. What does that have to do with it?
How that didn't disqualify him from being treated as a serious voice on geopolitics.
That's because I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint. Every single other person that is running a big country thinks like I do. Do you think the guy that's running China thinks like this? Do you think Donald Trump thinks like this? How do you think Donald Trump thinks? He thinks like I think. For sure. Guaranteed. Duh.
The same man who, in October of 2024, called Palestinians terrible people from an inferior culture, and that he doesn't feel bad nor cares about them. All this on a live Twitch stream. Listen to it yourself for context.
If you want, I can't play this, I'll get banned. But yes. Those people
being killed in Gaza.
Yes.
And he told his audience that people who have genocide baked into their laws deserve to be
I was just talking about Hamas, basically. I wasn't talking about all of Palestine. I was just talking about Hamas. I used the wrong vocabulary.
Genocided. He was banned from Twitch for 14 days. He stepped down from his leadership roles at the gaming organization that he co-founded. He posted an apology that amounted to, "My bad." And then he came back, his audience grew, and within months, he was the biggest
and so this is the type. Oh, wait, let me
political streamer on the internet.
Well, so there it is. So he did not even include the fact that I did a YouTube apology. He didn't add that in. And I think that he never even said that. And I think the reason why is very clearly that it would not help his argument. That's really the reason why. And so, because you don't care? Yeah, why would people care about that? Number one, I think that people have watched me for a very long time, and they know where I stand on most issues. So do I say things sometimes that are a bit too extreme? Yeah, of course. I think anybody on a live stream is going to do that if they're put in front of a camera long enough, definitely. But I think that what happens is that people expect to see, like, oh, there's going to be perfect behavior. That's absolutely not what's going to happen, number one. And number two, I already said that was a bad idea to say anyway. So what are we even talking about this for? And then to say that the only thing that I said as a response to that was the tweet, I think he's intentionally trying to misunderstand this. And this is, again, he's trying to frame it around something that this is the new framing that he's using, right? Is he's trying to say that I'm a very bad person, and then whenever I, went to apologize, I basically delegitimized it, or I didn't take it seriously, which is a mischaracterization. I think it's a deliberate mischaracterization.
To this, he hasn't distanced himself from Nick Fuentes, a white nationalist and Holocaust denier. He's done the opposite, in fact.
Yeah, I think Nick's great. Too bad. Cry about it.
Treated the idea of streaming with him like an eventuality. Listen to how
it will be.
He responds when collaboration comes up.
Does he want me to reach out to him?
I think that we might have to wait till next year for that one.
It's true. That's a fact.
I gotta listen to it. Sorry.
He's warping your points intentionally? Well, it's more about, like, this is another person that's obsessed with optics. Nobody sits in their own room and puts on a sport jacket so they can talk about politics that doesn't care about optics, okay? Kyle does the exact same thing. It's kind of cringe, but, that's just how people are.
Big Show Enjoyer sent $25. Good evening, Nicholas. Asmongold. Basically nominate you for Streamer of the Year on X. Also, if non-political questions are allowed, what were your favorite video game releases 2025? All the best to you. Rooting for you from Finland.
Yeah, Asmongold has been... We got to do a stream. Does he want me to reach out to him?
I think that we might have to wait till next year for that one.
Yep.
I don't know if Twitch is ready for that one yet.
I still don't think they are yet.
Now, I will say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
He has called ICE agents American heroes. And
yes, that's correct. They are American heroes. And I think that ICE agents should be more aggressive, and I think they should tase more people. They should use more rubber bullets. And I think that they should be even more aggressive to the animals that are trying to fight them. Absolutely. I mean, I guess this guy's in Britain, so he's not used to that, but over here, we don't want to have our country overrun by a bunch of foreign rapists that run gangs and then try to rape all of our women. I don't want to have that happen here. We've seen what happened to you guys. It didn't work out very well. That's just me. I don't know. It's just me.
Not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
He has called ICE agents American heroes.
True.
And said that they aren't aggressive enough.
Absolutely. True.
He's gone further than that, in fact, calling people who oppose ICE traitors.
Also, yep. Absolutely. American heroes, keeping the country safe. Also, here's another thing. Every single person that wants to soapbox and talk about how much they love illegal immigrants would never want their young children living in a house that had people that were illegal immigrants of military-aged men next door. That's the facts. None of them actually want to live with the consequences of their own performative morality. And that's the difference, is that whenever I say that I don't care about principles or morality, what I really mean by that is that I have a basically morality and principle tier list. So what I think is at the most core pinnacle thing is maintaining your safety, the safety of the people that you care about, and the safety of the people in your country. So whatever happens in order to make that happen is more or less justified. Now, there's exceptions to that very clearly, but I think that for the most part, that's true. So whenever I say that, like, oh, well, there's no principle to this, there actually is a principle to it, but it's just that that principle exists inside of a tier list. Why is Senna there? Some idiot was trying to make drama. It has nothing to do with Senna. So ICE are American heroes, and they're helping get rid of illegal aliens in the country. Yeah. Anybody who's against ICE, in my opinion, and wants to get rid of ICE or says fuck ICE, is a traitor. Critical of them, too. I don't think they're aggressive enough. I don't think they're brutal enough.
None of this is hidden. None of this is controversial.
And you see, by the way, he hasn't actually refuted anything that I've said. He's never presented a counterpoint. This is a person who thrives and exists entirely inside of the realm of optics. This is a person who, what they do is they just simply present things that I say, and they assume that their audience will watch it and think that, oh my God, he's so horrible, he's so bad, there's no way you're allowed to say this. You're not actually presenting any sort of secondary perspective besides this. You're just simply saying that my perspective is bad, and you're not even really explaining why in a lot of cases. You're just basically saying that this sounds bad. It's pretty embarrassing, honestly. But that's, I guess, what you get when you find a guy that's wearing a sport jacket to make a video behind his anime figurines. Oh, wait, no, these aren't anime. Well, that guy actually... Is that a Black Knight from Dark Souls 1? I think it... No, because they have the halberd. That's different. I don't know what that is.
Within his community.
Yes.
It is the community.
Optics,
and that brings us back to Iran, because here's where the giggling stops.
So this is also, again, keep in mind, not a single bit of counter-argument, not a single, point of view about ICE. Just simply, this is what I think, and we all know how bad ICE is, guys. So that's it. Man. Too bad.
Or at least it should do. On February 28th, the United States and Israel launched joint strikes on Iran, killing Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and
Rick Bozo, rest in piss.
A spiraling regional conflict that
a literal mass murderer religious tyrant that has been terrorizing the Iranian people for 30 years. Thank God he's dead. Thank God. And again, before anybody, every single Shia Muslim, every single Sunni Muslim, every single Iranian resident should look at that and say, thank God this horrible fucking person is dead. This guy's awful.
As of today, has claimed over 1,000 Iranian lives, 11...
Oh, let's care about the Iranian lives. Let's look at that. Oh, wow, wait a minute. There's not a single video about all of the Iranian lives that were lost in the protests whenever the same guy that you're trying to say that we killed, that we did, to be fair, killed all of these people. Not a single fucking video about it. I think this is a very great example of how optics invert morality. Is that I don't want to see Iranian people killed. I don't want to see that happen. I think it's horrible that that's happened. And I've been consistent about that, and I look at this problem at the root. The root of that problem is the Ayatollah and the regime that supports the Ayatollah. I support getting rid of that regime. I think that in doing so, we will save not thousands, but probably over the years, millions of lives in doing so. Will it cost lives in doing that? Yes, it will. But costing some lives now is better than costing way more lives later on. This isn't a conflict that you can just kick the can down the curb and assume, oh, well, it'll work itself out. It hasn't worked itself out. It never has. You have a childlike worldview? Well, it's very one-dimensional. So you have not a single video this person has made at all about, RFK, 83 children dead. So this is it. All you do is you criticize, I guess, American Republicans. Meanwhile, Britain is on fire, basically. Like, shit's going crazy over in Britain. And by the way, because of policies that I don't know whether this guy supports or not, he seems like somebody that would support them, but I don't want to put words in his mouth. But either way, not a single video about the Iranian massacres. Isn't that crazy? Oh, this is from 10 months ago. Yeah. Not a single video about that. And now he wants to soapbox about how terrible it is that the Iranians were killed by these airstrikes. It is terrible. It's horrible. It's a tragedy. Obviously, it's terrible when civilians die. But where's your video about the other 40,000, 30,000 people that were killed? The body bags lined up on the streets. I don't think you don't care about Iranian people. The only reason why he's talking about the Iranian people, like he cares about them, is so he can use it as a bludgeon to get mad at Trump again, because that's his entire fucking grift. That is the entire channel. Narrative pusher? Exactly.
People in Israel and 6 American soldiers, with Iranian retaliatory strikes hitting targets in Kuwait,
You want to show
Bahrain.
what Kason said real quick? Oh, yeah. There is this, too. Yeah, just real quick.
Guys are making it about Israel and America, how... Yo, bro, do you guys understand what Iran... You guys didn't even live there. You don't know. I have family there. I hear stories. I've been to Iran before. You guys don't even know.
Don't listen to him. Listen to the random British guy tell you how, no, it's not that bad, and it's actually America that's at fault here.
Don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Everyone just sits there and talks about whatever the thing they talk about and push some agenda.
Jesus Christ.
They're just pushing an agenda, bro.
This is really good.
They're
pushing an agenda. Holy shit. Everybody calls this shit out. It is so self-serving. It is embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing.
And 6 American soldiers, with Iranian retaliatory strikes hitting targets in Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. The US consul in Dubai,
you see right here, what is this here? Oh, let me finish.
Was struck by Iranian drones. The Strait of Hormuz, through which 20%...
So not a single mention of the fact that Iran has taken literally no action to delineate between attacking civilians or the military. Iran is flying lawnmowers into hotels. Like, they deliberately target civilians. They have done so for decades. This is what they do.
Of the world's oil passes has effectively shut down, and Trump has written on social media that the United States has a virtually unlimited supply of weapons and that wars can be fought forever. You know,
well, yeah, of course that's what he said, because the media perpetrated a lie, or basically what the media does is that this is the way the media creates a permission structure to promote propaganda and lies, is that one media outlet says that according to a source familiar with the topic that, you know, American missile supplies are getting low. So, you know, then somebody else quotes that and they say, well, according to this media outlet, you know, now American missile supplies are getting low. And so then you have a bunch of other people now collectively coming together to say this same thing, but it was really just one person that said this, and it's not corroborated one way or another. So that's the reason why Trump said that. And then whenever Trump said that, then they just took it and went in the opposite direction with creating propaganda that now, oh, well, Trump says the war is going to go on forever. So it's either you're running out of missiles and you're going to lose the war because you have bad logistics, or you're never going to run out of missiles, and that means that you want to have the war forever. It's either I'm right or you're wrong.
Is known as Operation Epstein Fury, a special military campaign. You know, totally not a war. This is
Epstein Fury? Oh, God.
War.
Is he one of these people?
Asmongold is tremendous.
There's like literally child marriage is acceptable in Iran. You can literally have, like, there's no need to be Jeffrey Epstein in Iran because it's not against the law. There would be no Epstein files in Iran. Those would just be called marriage certificates.
Happy and excited about. 4 of the 6 dead American soldiers were Army Reserve members working in logistics, the people who keep troops supplied with food and equipment. They were killed by a drone strike on a port in Kuwait. One of them, Sergeant Declan Cody, was just 20 years old. He was studying cybersecurity at Drake University. He was taking online classes while deployed. His sister...
This is more moralizing, talking about this. Yes, obviously, this is emotion-based logic. There's no actual reasoning here at all. It's basically you standing on the, on the bodies of dead soldiers to try to justify why your fucking non-stop hate for, I guess, Donald Trump or America is going to justify us not getting rid of Iran that is, responsible for killing thousands of people. Tens of thousands of people, of their own people.
Said that she still doesn't fully believe that it's real. Another, Sergeant First Class Nicole Amar, was days away from flying home to her husband and 2 children in Minnesota. She was an avid gardener. She made salsa with her son from the peppers in her garden. She didn't make it back. In Minab, in southern Iran, a missile struck an elementary girls' school on a Saturday morning while students were in class. 165 people were killed, most of them girls aged 7 to 12. Parents rushed to the site while security forces tried to push them back.
This is all just emotion. Total all emotion. What he's trying to do is he's trying to reframe the rational mind that comes to the conclusion that Iran is also the same people that killed their own people. He's trying to take you out of a rational mindset and out of logical and critical thinking, and he's trying to make you think in terms of emotions or trying to create a structure of the conversation that requires you to say that he's right. Oh, wow, it's bad that kids get killed. Everybody knows this. But what you're doing is you're weaponizing those kids getting killed to protect a regime from killing 40,000, 30,000 people. That's what you're really doing. And that's the kind of moral inversion that I think a lot of these left-wing people have done, is that what they've done is that because their goals are not actually to help the Iranian people, they don't care about helping the Iranian people, they don't care about making life better for them, they don't have any intent of doing that. What they care about is virtue signaling on the internet, like what he's doing. And so they're going to talk all day about this girls' school, but they won't even find the time to make a single video about the Iranians that were massacred wholesale by their own government after they turned off the internet. Isn't that weird? It's almost like they don't care. And it is, because they don't. They don't give a shit. The Al Jazeera report is also non-biased and accurate. Yeah, and Al Jazeera is state-funded media from Qatar, right? And also the report came originally from Iran's military. So I find this to be very weird, is that you're basically looking at 2 state-funded actors to give you an accurate assessment of, what happened. And you're just taking their word for it without any sort of thinking at all.
UNESCO called it a grave violation of humanitarian law. Iran's health ministry spokesman called it the most bitter news. Neither the US...
Well, maybe they shouldn't have killed their own people.
Nor Israel has claimed responsibility. And the most watched political streamer in the United States, the man who 18 months ago said that intervention abroad was a waste of money and the people there probably hate us, sat in his gaming chair and said that this is amazing.
This is just amazing. And playing the same clip again. This is, again, another person who... You see, there's not actually an argument being made here. There's just a moral soapbox that he's on top of, and he's using this moral soapbox to basically allow people to assume the argument. He's not actually making any sort of argument here. Not a single point has he really said. He's never said I was really specifically wrong about anything. It's just more that, wow, look at this bad thing that happened whenever this conflict happened. Yeah, it's bad. Sure. There's been bad things happening before this too.
Be clear about something, because you might be thinking, well, this is just a streamer. Who cares? But scale changes the equation. When Asmongold said that Palestinians came from an inferior culture, that clip didn't stay in his stream.
They come from an inferior culture that is horrible.
It went everywhere.
Not another ban.
When he says that bombing Iran is amazing,
not
that
another
sentiment
ban.
washes over an audience of millions of young men who trust him precisely because he doesn't sound like a politician.
Absolutely.
He sounds like their mate. He sounds like a guy in a messy room who doesn't shower and just tells it like it is. And the it he's telling right now is that a war that has killed a 20-year-old college student a mother of two, and 100
more moral positioning. There's no argument that's being made at all. Literally zero argument being made.
65 school children is awesome content.
Whoa, the content, that's a little... You see this? We have this little extra word so it can delegitimize and make it seem like I don't actually care about this. I don't know if I said awesome content or not. I have no idea. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But that's the reason why he said it. And let's see what I said actually in the clip that he showed of me. Actually, well, let's not even worry about that. Who cares about that? It's not really that important. Yeah, it's selective emotional outrage. Yeah, it's selective emotional outrage. It's like let's look at the handful of people that have been killed recently and then use that to ignore the tens of thousands of people that have been killed over the decades. Let's do that.
Even within MAGA, this war is splitting people apart. Matt Walsh.
Well, then why would you make the point that I was saying this before just to be safe with my audience? If it's very clearly splitting people apart.
Not exactly the most peaceful person, called the White House's shifting justifications for the strikes confused, to put it mildly. That's the best he can do, by the way, because he's a giant cuck. Marjorie Taylor Greene sharply criticized the president for abandoning his no new wars promise.
The president multiple times, Donald Trump multiple times, said that he would attack Iran and prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon. He said this multiple times. To say that the no new wars is supposed to offset literally 10 years of messaging is crazy. And also, like, this is just my opinion, but I think that we've been in basically a Cold War with Iran for like 20 or 30 years. Whenever we were fighting terrorist proxies in the Middle East, they were being funded by Iran. So this entire idea that this is a new conflict, I don't even really think is true. We spend billions of dollars every single year developing countermeasures for Iran. If we're not fighting some sort of conflict against them, then why are we spending all this money on countermeasures? What's the reason for that? Oh, geez. 47 years? Well, I'm just saying, I mean, again, I'm 35. I'm talking about what I remember.
Tucker Carlson, who helped build the MAGA media ecosystem, called the war absolutely disgusting and evil. Even J.D. Vance, the man who endorsed Trump in 2023 specifically because he started no wars, and who said just months before the election that America's interest was very much in not going to war with Iran.
See, this isn't even an argument against what's being said. It's just him trying to selectively look at quotes and then derive hypocrisy from it. At no point in this entire video has he presented any sort of an argument about what's being said, other than it gets people killed, and that's not what you said about this other thing that I'm trying to compare it to. Not a single argument has even been made.
Silent for 3 days before surfacing on Fox News to insist that this time it's different. So the administration's own allies are fracturing. The vice president is performing rhetorical gymnastics. The Senate voted on a war powers resolution, and a gaming streamer with no knowledge of the region, no understanding of the conflict, and by his own admission, no principles, is sitting in Austin, Texas, giggling about how amazing.
Wow. Wow. And here you are getting mad about it. You're crying about it every single day. You make videos about this crying every single day. It's embarrassing, man. Who knows? And again, you can get mad. Like, I don't care about the personal insults. It's just disappointing that we haven't even had a single... This is the problem that I have with a lot of these videos, is that they have really no substance to them at all. All it is emotional and moral grandstanding, the optics of a conversation, and the way that things are said, and then bad faith hypocrisy attempts. This is in no way advocating for any sort of argument. It's not making the world a better place. It's not talking about how to move forward and how to make things better. It has nothing like that at all. All it is just, this is what you said, and that's not the same as what this is. This is kind of different. I don't even know what to say. Blackmailing as so. Yeah, I mean, of course, there's a lot of emotional blackmail, obviously. Watch videos with real substance. Yeah, I wish we had them.
It is the bombs are falling on a country he most likely couldn't even find on a fucking map. Now, let's try.
I don't know where Iran is on the map. Okay.
Remember what Trump campaigned on. First, no new wars.
I haven't even had a single... This is the problem that I have with a lot of these videos, is that they have really no substance to them at all. All it is emotional and moral grandstanding, the optics of a conversation, and the way that things are said, and then bad faith hypocrisy attempts. This is in no way advocating for any sort of argument. It's not making the world a better place. It's not talking about how to move forward and how to make things better. It has nothing like that at all. All it is just, this is what you said, and that's not the same as what this is. This is kind of different. I don't even know what to say. Blackmailing as SO2? Yeah, I mean, of course, there's a lot of emotional blackmail, obviously. Watch videos with real substance? Yeah, I wish we had them.
It is the bombs are falling on a country he most likely couldn't even find on a fucking map. Now, let's try...
I don't know where Iran is on the map. Okay.
Remember what Trump campaigned on. First, no new wars.
They said...
Second, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if they were going to attack us, I'd bomb the shit out of them. We're going to look at the one quote that Trump said about not having any wars, and we're not going to look at the 10 other things that he said about preventing Iran from having a nuclear weapon. This is, again, you're selectively showing this. You're right that he said no new wars. In my opinion, I don't think that he should have said that. Because how can you say no new wars? You're writing a blank check for the future, and you don't know what's going to happen in the future. How can you say that there's no reason to ever have a new war if you don't know what the different things are going to happen in 3 years or even going to be? It's a mistake for him to have even said that.
You will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
The idea of spending so much money on Middle Eastern wars seemed ridiculous to him just recently.
Yes. We've spent $8 trillion in the Middle East.
Yes.
And we're not fixing our roads in this country? How stupid is it?
And then he launched what his own administration called Operation Epstein Fury. Yes, that's what it's called now. And the absurdity...
This little clever play on words of, oh, it's Epstein's Fury. I just feel like it's so... Isn't it weird that they're using this term against a country that allows child marriage? Like, I think it's so weird. Why would you do that? Like, Iran has child marriage. Like, you can get married to a 9-year-old in Iran. There wouldn't be any reason for Epstein to have fury in Iran because that's the law. They live in a fake reality? I guess so. Did he mention any wars Trump has stopped? Of course not. No. No new wars was not what he was running on. It was what he accomplished from his first admin. I don't remember what he said about that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember exactly what the context of the no new wars thing was.
He doesn't stop there. The defense secretary declared this.
Turns out the regime...
Oh, there's more hypocrisy. This is another Reddit argument.
Who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel.
They're treating hundreds and potentially tens of thousands, if this war continues, off deaths like it's an epic military action movie. And as...
Yeah, exactly, because he's representing the troops. Like, I hate to tell you this, but the guys that are probably enlisted, that are the chuds that are sitting there wanting to go to war or, you know, signing up to the military in record numbers, they hear that and they're like, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's because what do you think the military is? Do you think it's a bunch of fucking Karens sitting around an HR board deciding, like, which pronouns you can use? No, of course not. It's a bunch of guys that are abrasive, aggressive, and they love shit like that. Does every single one? No. But I don't think it's a coincidence whenever Trump and Pete Hegseth take over the military, recruitment skyrockets. Jesus. That's the British military? Yeah.
Asmongold heard this and matched the energy because that's all he does.
I do. I completely support it. I think it's a great thing that we make fun of our enemies, then we kill them, then we make fun of them being killed, then we make memes about killing them, and then we laugh at those. That's the way that a military should be. Absolutely psychotic, terrifying, dangerous, with no sense or regard to the well-being of its enemies whatsoever. And that is exactly what I want. Because that's what scares people. And I'd rather scare people than have them think that they can invade and attack our country. Absolutely. I want more COD kill cams. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want. We should have been getting this the whole time.
Is the energy. Whatever Trump says, Asmongold says, oh, bro, that's based. The man has told you to your face that he has no principles and no morality. And millions of people watch him anyway, because in this media ecosystem, having no principles is the brand. Not knowing...
What is the principle that allows you to obfuscate the bad actions of the Iranian government and then justify basically not attacking them and not stopping them from developing a weapon that will destabilize an entire region, funding terrorism that kills and maims, and also we were talking about Palestinians earlier in this video. The biggest victims of Iran in some cases are Palestinians. They are the Gazans, because not only are they getting bombed by Israel, but they're also being oppressed by Hamas. Do you think Hamas is like these are these great guys that are in Palestine that are helping them out and trying to make sure that they're able to survive? No, of course not. If you protest against Hamas over there, they kill you. So this entire idea that, like, you know, I have no principles. Well, let's actually look at where the principles have led this guy. They have led this guy to, you hate Donald Trump so much that you're running defense and you're repeating Iranian state media propaganda as a attack on Donald Trump. So if your principles have led you for creating a smokescreen about the obvious ideological and complete moral evil that the Iranian government is, why do you have those principles? Those don't seem like good principles at all to me. Those seem like terrible principles.
Anything is the credential. And saying...
Because the truth is that, like, I do have a moral compass. It just doesn't necessarily point north. But I think my north is the true north. And I think what they think is north is bullshit. I think they are allowing so much evil, so much bad behavior, so many people to get hurt, so many deaths and everything, and they don't realize it because they think that by not taking action, somehow they don't take ownership. I don't agree with that. I think that by refusing to take action, that is an action. And I think that abstaining from taking action against evil like this, you are allowing it to proliferate, and you're letting it get worse.
This is just amazing. While a 20-year-old dies in a drone strike in Kuwait, is called content. So believe him. When a man tells you that he has no principles, believe him. He's not lying. Yes. This is the only honest thing that he said. Nicole Amour's son...
The worst part about me is that I'm honest. That's the thing. I actually tell people what I think. For better or for worse. And also, so keep in mind, this video is almost over. Not a single point has been made that is an argument.
Is finishing his senior year in high school without his mother. Point. Declan Cody's sister is
another. This is more emotional soapboxing, right? I mean, like, why aren't you eulogizing about the people that were killed on October 7th? Because that was by one of Iran's proxies. Oh, that's right. Because that's not convenient for your narrative. This is all it's about. It's about a narrative. It's about an agenda. It's not about a principle. It's not about morality. It's about creating a narrative.
To accept that her brother isn't coming home. Yep. And 165 families in Minab are burying their daughters. And in a cluttered room in Austin, Texas, the most watched political voice of his generation thinks that this is just amazing.
It is amazing because it's the beginning of the end. And thank God that somebody had the ability and the willingness and the resolve to finally confront this evil directly. And the truth is that this evil has been manifesting, growing, and becoming more pernicious, dangerous, and lethal every single year. And for 47 years, the entire Middle East has been terrorized by an Iranian government that keeps not only the region hostage, but also its own people as well. And so, yes, obviously it's horrible whenever people get killed, and nobody agrees with that. But I don't want to hear any fucking moralizing from a person who wouldn't even make a single video about the 40 or 30,000 people that were body bagged on the side of the street while Iran turned off the internet to mass murder its own civilians. And then to hear about how terrible it is that 6 people that were Americans were killed, or 160 that were Iranians that were killed. This is the same Iranian government who this week have said they will kill your children if your children are saying things that are against the regime. This isn't something that they said 3 years ago. This is something they said this week. It was like 3 days ago. So this is the problem, is that when your partisan politics leads you to a place that you defend genuine true evil and you think that you're the one that's principled, I say, to what purpose are those principles for? It's such a horrible thing to see. And I see a lot of people that make these arguments, and the reason why people watch me is because I don't make these arguments. That's the reason why nobody watches your videos. That's the reason why I think that you're very, very one-dimensional. You're only making videos about how bad Trump is. You're not even in America. What is that? You need to have a jacket to have an opinion on this? Yes, exactly. Not even innocent Americans. They were in reserves. Yeah, I mean, these are people that signed up for the military as well. Let me listen to the rest of this.
Voice of his generation thinks that this is just amazing.
I was a big supporter of us bombing them before, and now we're bombing them again, and this is just amazing. It is amazing. And do you remember how he said this is amazing content? So he added that word in to make it seem like I was trying to play down the fact of the war. So he added that in, and you can see how people like this are they're very manipulative. But the one thing that we didn't have in this video that I find to be very disappointing, I see this in a lot of anti-Asmongold videos, is that there's a lot of attacks on, my personality, the way I speak, things that I say, or the way that I say things. But very rarely is there actually an attack on my argument.